4 of Hometown Throwdown here in Rose City. My name is Omnivore. I'll be your MC for this game. I'm joined up here by Furious. We're going to go ahead and let you know who's playing in this game. Furious, who do you have playing for the Montreal New Skids on the Block?
All right, thanks, Nom Nom. In the green, we have 008 Lau Ryder, 03 Grayson, 1017 Bigley Smalls, 123 is Miracle Whips. 1-3 Alcatraz. 1-3-1 Leanne T. Christ. 1-7-7-3 Magnum PI. 1969 Dinata. 289 Cheese Grater. 5678 Gruesome Gracie. 62 is I. 85 Artsy Choke. 87 Motley Crue.
Hey, I think we're in.
Yes, we are. This jam is on.
KT Kaboom and
Scott Chicken joined by the King,
Yes,
or the
indeed.
King joined by Scott Chicken. I don't know how that
Well,
works.
here we
All
are
of
at the
the
beginning
above.
of Jam
And
1.
hey, we
We've
got Thunder Dame
Beyond.
out first for the Wheels of Justice.
Jamming against Miracle Whips.
Yeah, it was going to be a foot race to the back of the pack. Finally, they decided to call it off. It was a very fast pack, and we are, I guess we hit the ground running today.
I think so, yes. The refs are like, no, we said 0. We're starting now. None of your introductions. We don't need that.
Well, that was a very quick and almost uneventful first jam, and it is 0-0. Montreal, of course, playing the Wheels of Justice. And we're going to see Bonnie Thunders out there next.
I've heard of her.
Uh-huh.
Them. They've been around a little bit, 340.
And Donata is going to be out there for Montreal.
Daynata held up Bonnie Thunders through lead jammer, and now scoring points willy-nilly.
Yes. Excellent wall being laid down by the Wheels of Justice right now. Tenacity has got a lock on that jammer and not letting them get past.
Stars now off, attempting the pass through, and now pulling it away as Management and Cool has to cycle back to play defense.
It looks like a direction of play is going to be called. That's Grayson going to be headed to the penalty box.
First penalty, oops, and then second penalty almost immediately as Una Roll heads to the box for Rose City. Just kind of, let's keep it even at 3 each.
Tarantula is the last line of defense for Rose City, but if you know what last line of defense you want to have on the track, Tarantula would be the one I'd
I was
pick.
going to say, yeah, Tarantula not bad at that defense thing. Star pass complete. Mons now with the star.
And Bonnie Thunders runs in there quickly, calls it off, picks up 4 points, and this jam is done. 12 points altogether for Rose City, holding Montreal to a 0.
Montreal played yesterday. They lost to the European All-Stars in our second game, our weather-delayed second game, but we're back on schedule.
Yes,
finally.
we are. Finally had a 10 a.m. game. If you guys missed it, it was a good game.
Was good.
Yeah, it was
Good to see Arch back.
Yeah, they looked fantastic.
It did. All right.
Lauren Much comes out of there very quickly, already picking up the lead jammer status.
And Leanne Christ also clears the pack, half a lap behind. As Much does what Much does.
Wow, so quick, so
Yeah.
much momentum going forward, and she's always got those feet moving. It's really incredible to watch her jam.
Yeah. It's been the progression of Much over the years has been really delightful to watch.
Right. Yep, Montreal played last night. They did fall to the European League, but I got to say it was very, very cool to see Miracle Whips going up against Freight Train and mini jams. It was a fun game to watch, and both of them are so good individually as jammers.
Yes. And very different styles, which
Yep.
is also nice. Zip jamming for Rose City, and Zip is lead.
Miracle Whips does get out. Tenacity the last line of defense, but it was a swing and a miss. Zip comes in, manages to ping pong through, picks up a few points, calls it off before Miracle Whips can get back in there and do anything.
Yeah, Wheels Justice doing a good job of basically doing what we saw our rival do in the last game. Get the points, call it off, keep your opponent off the board, build up a lead, and then I was going to say relax, but we know that won't happen. So 4 straight scoreless jams for the new Skids. Let's see if number 87 Motley Crude can do any better.
Beyond Thunder Dame is out there. A little bit of offense coming from Rose City. Thunder Dame at the top of the pack, or of the apex, and does find a hole to get through to become lead jammer.
And another penalty thinning out the Montreal pack as Cheese Grater heads to the penalty box. The Wild CBD penalty box.
Thunder Dame does find an opening on the inside, does a nice little glide through sideways, picks up 4 points for the Rose City Rollers.
Meanwhile, Motley Crude recycled back.
Looks like Thunder Dame is on the ground and got hit a high block. There will be a penalty. Wybro Sirius, I think, is the one going to be assessed that.
We'll see. Yes, does not stop at the bench. Heads straight to the penalty box.
2 players are going to be down in that penalty box to start for Montreal.
And we are off and going with Bonnie Thunders.
Magnum PIE stepped off the track and is going to report back to the bench, as we already have a full complement of blockers out there for Montreal.
Denata jamming for Montreal and not getting anywhere, but trying to stay inbounds. Like, I only have the one hand down. No, really, I only have the one hand down. And now all of Rose City is reporting to the penalty box, it appeared. Other than Bonnie Thunders. Bonnie Thunders scoring points left and right.
Bonnie Thunder comes in very strong, starts weaving around at the top of the apex, finds a hole through, and picks up another 4 points.
Oh, Tenacity bumping Denata out as Rose back to 2 blockers on the track. And Montreal now losing 1.
And also Rose City blockers are now able to report to the penalty box because there was a full box already there for them.
There was indeed. So Bonnie Thunders with 8 so far, continuing to run to empty that penalty box out. Denata has 4, so Montreal on the board finally. And now we're down to 1 blocker each in the box.
And the pack got real slow.
It did.
Bonnie Thunders finds a hole around the out and does make it through, picking up another 4 points. And just like that, the penalty box is empty. Well,
then it refills. So
Tenacity now having a seat in the Wild CBD penalty box.
And Denata just stuck and in the sad place. Cannot move anywhere. Think you're around the edge, and then there's Cassie Beck in the way, and then you think you're around this edge, and then there's who's that? Morgan Levy in the way. It's just there's always somebody in the way, it seems.
Looks like 16 points now being put on the board for the Rose City Rollers. Compliments of Bonnie Thunder. Wow.
Nice little juke.
Yeah, the ability
resist the hip.
Yeah, the ability to stay on your feet from taking a hit like that. That's the impressive part.
Yes. 20-point jam for Bonnie Thunders. 8, however, on the board for Montreal. So we sit at 43-8.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Holler. The next time you're in PDX, visit Holler, your new favorite sports bar and treat shop.
And next on our jam line, much for Rose City, Gruesome Gracie jamming for, and a quick star pass as well.
Multiplayer block is being assessed. And I think they're still trying to figure out who needs to go to the penalty box.
Somebody's got to go somewhere.
I think it was Tarantula. It is. Tarantula is headed to the penalty box.
Hey, I think it was me.
They were doing a good job trying to hold the jammer in from getting that star pass across the top. That's a dangerous pass when you do that, because a lot of times you might come into contact with someone's helmet. But in that case, they were able to hold that jammer back, but it was an illegal multiplayer block.
Wybro Sirius did get the star. Nothing doing to it, but it did hold Rose City to 4, so now 47-8. 21-22 to go in the half.
Zip and Miracle Whips are your jammers. Miracle Whips finding an outside line, bounces on a toe stops, is out as your lead jammer.
And pumps the fist. Hey, first lead jam of the game for Montreal.
That's it, lead. Zips finally finds an opening, does squeeze through the middle of those 2 blockers, and is free on the initial pass.
Tenacity holding up, getting to the front to hold Miracle Whips. Miracle Whips says, that's fine, I've got all my points. I will call off the jam.
Also want to give a big shout out to S1 Helmets. Best fit, best production. You know, you add those together, it equals the S1 Lifer helmet. Get a lifer, be a lifer, S1 Helmets.
There are a few of those being worn today.
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple.
Those are good helmets. Bonnie Thunders and the Antichrist are your jammers out there.
And Bonnie Thunders out first, lead jammer. Good chase given, but not able to catch up.
There's a pile up in corner number 2. Bonnie Thunder comes in, clips the jammer, and then Tarantula finishes the job.
Yeah.
The Antichrist is going back and starting again.
It's a 1-2 punch I do not need to be on the receiving end of. The Antichrist going to the helmet, pulls the cover off, pivot way far away. Playing defense on Bonnie Thunders.
Very slow, stalled pack right here. Everybody's creeping forward at a snail's pace.
Simonis rolling forward to try and give some offense, but Bonnie Thunders gets knocked out, decides to call off the jam. A 2-point jam.
Yeah, Bonnie Thunder's class act, giving high fives to everybody, including all the Montreal blockers that were giving her so much heartburn out on the track.
And back to the Jam Line. Jam Line brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. And we've got Much set to jam against Denata, and Much just somehow appearing at the front of the pack.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of offense being played. Wow, Denata is taking some brutal hits up front, trying to get through.
And now heading to the penalty box for a forearm call. First jammer penalty of the game. Power jam to probably maybe the least or second least person you would want to have with the power jam.
Cassie Beck was up there trying to open up a hole and help her partners through there. That was a nice acquisition during the downtime with Cassie Beck coming here. Just one more fantastic skater for Rose City.
Yeah.
4 more points for a grand total of 12 being put on the board. Right now we got a score of 61-12, 18 minutes left in this first half.
And as importantly, locking in the jammer for Montreal, 1969, Denata for another jam. Handing the power start off to Zip. As Rose City trying offense, sort of trapping someone, and getting called is Alicia Nisbet-Smith heading to the penalty box with sort of a shake of the head like, what did I do? Come on. Was that really a penalty?
Yeah.
Really? Apparently so.
Zip right now struggling against Montreal's defense. They are doing a great job getting their wall together and recycling to stay together and hold that jammer down.
Denata out of the penalty box and also engaged as the cheese grater trying to move Tarantula out of the way. And Tarantula's like, what are you doing? This is not going to happen. I am here. This is where I'm going to stay.
Well, Zip is still stuck at that Montreal wall, trying to find a way to get through, getting escorted out of bounds and staying in corner number 1.
And cheese grater also, again, continuing to try to move anybody out of the way. Now having to roll forward to jump into defense as Lisa Nisbet-Smith out of the penalty box and up onto the offensive front.
Wow.
Now just 2 blockers at the back holding on to Denata.
Yeah, Big Bang Fury and Tarantula just holding down as a wall. It allows them to get 2 blockers that they can send up for offense.
Now more offense coming back for Montreal. We're halfway around the track. Still no lead jammer. 28 seconds to go in the jam. So just a little defense on this. And both teams doing great jobs of absorbing the offensive attempts.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Montreal really bouncing back and forth as Mia Palau tried to break things. And finally, with 13 seconds left, Zip grabs lead.
And it's just a testament to the positional blocking that both these teams work on and possess. They can just lock down with minimal blockers and hold that jammer down and scrub that speed like nothing I've ever seen.
Right, and no huge hits.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm in your way and I'm not moving. And you can push on me, but I'm still not going to move.
That's just exhausting. So, 2 fists in the air, no points scored, in a grueling defensive jam that last one was.
Yeah, no points, full 2 minutes, and lead jammer with 15 seconds to go. That was great.
Yeah. Bonnie Thunders is going to be out there taking the track. I believe that's Motley Crue hiding behind her that I'm taking a look at.
And Thunders bumped out of bounds. Motley Crue pushing at the front.
Bonnie Thunders comes in very, very quick, and they do a great job catching, dropping, and holding on.
And everybody glomming together as we got Beans at the front helping out with some offense for Bonnie Thunders, and Thunders is clear.
Great defense being set down. And I do believe that's Grayson that was trying to open something up, but unfortunately they were not able to stop or hold on. And hey, look at that. That's going to be a truck cat. Oh my, well, if I can say it.
Yes.
Track cut.
There we go.
Being called on Bonnie Thunders. And that's a power jam that's going to benefit Montreal.
That is the first jammer penalty for the Rose City. At least in this game. I'm sure you've had one before.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Just a couple.
Many times.
Yes. So the second straight 2-minute jam as Motley Crue trapped. Montreal's defense waiting for Bonnie Thunders to return, so not able to swing forward and give too much offense.
Tenacity was very heads up. She came off, let the 3 blockers hold on, and she was trying to fend off any offense that was coming. I've not seen that really set up like that before. That was kind of very interesting.
Yeah, it sort of serves as a bridge, but also, like, I'll bridge if I need to, but also I'm just going to knock people out of the way. 4 points for Bonnie Thunders out of the penalty box. And Thunders in for second scoring pass.
Wow.
And gets some through.
Just hope to slow her down. Bonnie Thunders once again outscoring 4 more points.
Jam comes to a close. Motley Crue did finally escape, but that was a long workout.
Yep. Another jam where we've just seen lots and lots of defense. And I think as this game progresses, I think we're going to see a lot of defense being laid down.
Speaking of things being laid down, we'd like to thank PBR. PBR is back, baby. Grab one to share. It's afternoon. You're allowed to have a beer.
That's right. Much of Miracle Whips. Those are your jammers out there. Woo. And a beautiful little spin. Lauren Much is out to be your lead jammer.
Miracle Whips also ducking under to finally exit the pack. Much now caught up a bit on the second pass. Looks back. Checks with the bench. Bench is like, you got people in the box. Let's just burn some time and see how the D goes.
Yeah, nice move. That was orchestrated by the offense of Montreal. 4 easy points being picked up by Miracle Whips.
Now the bench yells out to call it. Much stems some of that tide, but a 4-3 jam win for Montreal.
Yeah, and in this next jam, you're going to see only 2 blockers out there for Rose City. This is another good opportunity for Montreal to get some more points up on the board for themselves.
And Montreal calling a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Deb Count Stabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Also like to mention Rogue. Rogue Ales and Spirits, award-winning Oregon-made craft brews and spirits available in all 50 states. Find your brew at rogue.com.
I mentioned this last night, but I have actually picked up Rogue whiskey over in Michigan.
Nice.
Yep, it is all over the place. I was excited to see it, and I said, well, that's got to come on with me tonight.
There you go. Exactly. Hey, this is from where I used to live.
And I know it's good.
Yes, always key. Once you find something good, stick with it. All right, next coming up on our Jam on Hawthorne jammer line will be Miracle Whips and Zip. And 4-on-2 advantage in the pack for Montreal.
And it looked like Bigley Smalls up front was getting ready to play some offense on those blockers from Rose City.
Now they're all just trying to figure it out. Oh, Miracle Whip's almost clear, but bumped out. Nothing doing, but is lead jammer. All right,
yep.
Made it clear before getting knocked out.
Well, Bigley Smalls knocked out the tenacity and was able to get that status for Miracle Whips.
Zip is also clear, and Miracle Whips calls off the jam. Miracle Whips got all 4.
Stan the Woolman at the very end of that did pick up a forearm penalty, and that's going to put them in the penalty box.
So a 4-0 run takes Montreal to 20. Rose City Wheels of Justice 72. 11 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first period. Dance party at the Jammer line.
Those are always
courtesy
my
of DJ
favorites.
Agent Meow.
We're going to have an official review out there for Rose City.
All right.
And that as well as other timeouts. In fact, welcome to PDA.com. Like I was saying earlier, thinking about moving
I'd like
forward.
to thank WSL Leadership Coaching, helping you be more awesome in your work, sport, and life. And who doesn't need to be more awesome
In
at
their
various
life?
things?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nowadays, I need to be way more awesome in my life.
So winner of this game will move to our 8 o'clock game this evening to take on the European All-Stars. Loser moves to tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon. I keep saying morning because it's the first game, but it's at 2 p.m., so it's throwing me off. Game 5 is our 5th place game, or I guess it's game 7, and they will play the Axles of Annihilation in that 5th place bracket. That's at 2 p.m. local time being Pacific. By Sunday it'll be
was
Pacific
requesting a
Standard.
review on a cut call that was not called at the beginning of the jam.
All right, so this is clearly when Miracle Whips knocked out and then came back in and was awarded lead, but also had maybe or maybe not somebody ran back.
So had Tenacity been knocked out of bounds prior to Miracle Whips coming back on the track, I think is the question in play here.
This weekend, skating and non-skating, everybody's working hard, and we appreciate them so much for all they do. Without them, Derby would not happen.
Interesting crossover I've noticed in the rosters between the Axles and the Wheels of Justice.
Yes.
And only one that's playing both games today. I mean, that would make sense at least this morning because this first game is back to back, right? You're not, but clearly, Big Bang Fury is like, yeah, I can go again. What the heck? I'm young.
I did.
I got energy.
I talked to her in between games, and I said, "You're going double time on this one?" And she's like, "Yep." And I said, "You sure?" She's all. Yeah, that's what happens when you're young.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, it's just recently aged out of juniors. What the heck? I got all the energy in the world.
That's right.
On the other hand, I'm like, I just have to talk about it. So
I'd make it probably about a half a jam, and I'd be done now.
Exactly. All right. Conversation done. Let's hear the result.
Upon review, there was no skater who had position in front of the jammer at the time that they went out of bounds. The initiator had fallen down, so when the skater re-entered, there was no one who would have been eligible to cut. The no call will stand.
There you go.
All right.
Excellent. I mentioned it to a ref earlier. I've been really impressed with the official reviews, with the what and the why, and the clear understanding of what happened and why it was being called and what they saw and the results.
And what they didn't see, yes.
Yes.
The explanations have been great, especially yesterday. There was one we mentioned pregame about where the guy said, my bad, like admitted, hey, we missed this call. We got it right eventually, and that's really all we want. And everybody understands. Yeah, the microphone in the middle for official reviews has been a great addition to the game, I think, because half the time we in the booth are like trying to figure out what might have happened. And what now we know what happened. What happened is Bonnie Thunders, his lead jammer, Gruesome Gracie, is jamming for Montreal and passed the star off to Wybro Sirius.
Yeah.
Why?
That's another thing that I've noticed in the games as of this weekend, and you saw it a lot, but it seems like anytime someone gets out first, they're always pulling that star off and getting ready to pass it. And it's really it's a great element to the game because then it gives you two targets. You've got to watch where that pivot is, and try and keep them separate from the jammer.
Right.
And you got to basically plan for it, and your blockers really got to have a great pack awareness in order to maintain holding on to that jammer at that point.
Yes, and you also see a lot of defense keeping the pivot away, and we see a lot of Lauren Much just finding space where there is no space to rush up the outside edge and grab lead jammer.
Well, Beans gave a little bit of a bump, just like they did right there.
Nice bump to the inside by
But this time, Montreal was quicker to pick it up and say, no, I see where you are.
The Antichrist with the star for Montreal. Much slaloms around Montreal and Cool to collect the 4 points. But the Antichrist is out.
Yep, that was a forearm call on Lee Antichrist. It's going to put him 1 blocker down. It never, I can't be more amazed every time I see a person on one skate do a flip around and call it off before the other jammer can get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just acrobatics on the track. We got a score of 82-20. 8 more points being picked up by Rose City in that last jam. We got 9 minutes left in this first half.
We got Zip on the jammer line, facing off with De Nada. And Zip pushing to the front,
Oh, and it's going to be a power jam to benefit Montreal. High block being called on Zip.
Second jammer penalty for the Wheels of Justice.
Donata trying to force their way through, finally finds an opening, and lead jammer is awarded to Donata.
Third lead jam of the game for Montreal. First time it was not Miracle Whips. Now 3-on-3 in the pack as Montreal's got 1 blocker coming back in. Knocks Tarantula it out, but De Nada had already been recycled back.
Lots of action. Here comes Zip, and Montreal is taking them way back and is ready for him.
Forced out again is De Nada and has to roll back as Unarol heads to the penalty box.
Nice move on the outside in turn number 2 for Zip. They are finally out of their pack on their initial.
And De Nada says, that's enough of that. Gonna call off the jam. Did get all 4. That takes Montreal to 24, and the crowd goes wild.
You know, I'd like to give a big old shout out to Sizzle Pie. If you're ever here in the Portland metropolitan area, go to Sizzle Pie, Rose City Rollers' official pizza partner. Death to false pizza. Sizzle Pie.
Sizzle Pie is delightful. It's a good pizza. All right, official timeout. Some checking in at the penalty box over who should be where. I believe we're going to see Mia Palau with the star in this next jam. Set to jam against number 87 Motley Crude.
Well, there was definitely some discussions happening over there in the penalty box.
We are pulling 1 blocker off because we got 2 in the box. Could it be somebody who was released early, maybe? I'm not sure. Whatever it is, we got 2 blockers in the penalty box for Rose City. 1 standing, 1 sitting. I think that's Alicia Naismith standing, right? And
I believe it's still Una Roll.
Is it Una? Yeah, I think you're right.
So. Tenacity is right now trying to hold on to that jammer. Magna PIE came in with a nice hit.
Oh, and a forearm penalty called on Mia Palau.
And with that, Motley Crue is out as your lead jammer. Motley Crue comes in very hot to the back of that pack, bouncing around. Offense coming from all sides from her partners in Montreal.
And then just dropped by Nisbet Smith. Calls off the jam. And Rose City coach not happy with the method of calling off, perhaps. Not sure, but we don't get any points out of the deal.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's going to put Miracle Whips at the jam in a power jam situation. Both blocking teams are going to have 1 blocker. Well,
first, we will have an official timeout.
All right.
As the referee crew discusses.
Well, official timeouts are from Deb Counts Tabor. It's time this time. Excuse me. Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Second time I've gotten tongue-tied on today's broadcast.
Yes.
I got to get some more coffee going in my system.
I will thank Wild, once again, Wild CBD. It's like surfing the clouds on a surfboard made of pure energy.
Excellent.
They do not have a Wild CBD sparkling water dispenser in the penalty box, unless that's what's in that cooler over there.
Oh,
maybe that's it.
That'd be Red
Maybe
Bull.
okay. Like maybe you could sit in the box and just grab your CBD water and relax while you're taking your 30-second break. Or maybe not. Would also like to say thank you to the following sponsors: Sisu Mouthguards, 187 Killer Pads, and S1 Helmets. I know we thanked S1 earlier, but they get 2 thanks.
You know, I'm watching all the players in between jams and things like that. You can really see the love out on the track from all of these skaters. Everybody's so happy that we're back at it again, playing high-level derby here at the Hometown Throwdown. And really, there's lots of camaraderie between these skaters.
And back with the crowd, too. Like I've remote announced a couple of tournaments where there was no crowd, and it was other than other skaters, which you get some tournaments where there's nobody that shows up. It's just skaters. But still, this was like nobody was allowed in the building other than skaters, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah. It is kind of weird to not hear cheering, to not hear those things. So it's a great thing that we're kind of back at it.
Well, now we've moved to a timeout by Montreal. Perhaps they took a timeout so they could ask why their logo disappeared from the scoreboard. Oh, sorry, it's not Montreal. It's Rose City. That's the other way around.
Well, we've got a score right now of 82-26. We've got 6 minutes left in this first half. Lots of chatting out on the track.
Indeed there is, and we will take a break on the broadcast after this game. And our next game following this, I mean, we'll have the second half. It's not like we're taking a break for that. The game will complete. After the game is over, next game will be at 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you're in Portland and you want to come down, doors open at 5, and there will probably be tickets available, so come on down. But if you're watching on the stream, come back at 6 p.m. Pacific for our semifinal game, Denver versus arch rival. That should be a fun one. And then at 8 o'clock, we will have Team Europe playing the winner of this game. Nice to give them a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Between this game and later.
Yeah, skating back to back. Oof. Got to put gas back in that tank after a game.
Truly. All right, so we have 3 skaters for Rose City in the penalty box. And just when I thought things were going to start, we're back to official timeout.
All right.
Oh, because there's a little conversation going with the Rose City bench coach. As I was saying, 3 skaters for Rose City in the Wild CBD penalty box. 1 Mange-moi and Cool is sitting for Montreal. Now, maybe we will have 5 seconds,
called.
and then maybe we can play roller derby. Miracle Whips just keyed, ready to go. 3-on-2 in the pack, and Miracle Whips jumps around the edge, grabs lead jammer.
That was beautiful offensive work by that entire pack out there for Montreal.
It was indeed. And that's 3 straight lead jams for Montreal. Miracle Whips bumped just enough. Tenacity with the hip check.
Yeah, that was excellent defensive work by Rose City to get a body on that Miracle Whips to knock them out.
And Miracle Whips saw Mia Palau coming out of the box with the full speed, ready to just blast past that pack, and said, we'll just call it off. I don't need to chase that. So at 4-0.
Well, both jammers are now out there, but we still got 2 blockers standing in the penalty box for Rose City, so there will be a pack advantage.
Your jammers number 77, Lauren Much. And Much is lead. You got 5, 6, 7, 8, Gruesome Gracie jamming for Montreal. Gruesome Gracie also out, and now having to chase all of those blockers coming out of the penalty box. All 3 of them released at exactly the same time.
Right. 1 point being picked up by Montreal in that. 3 points being picked up by Rose City.
Yeah, good work by Gruesome Gracie catching up to Nisbet Smith coming out of the penalty box.
Oh, yeah. Turned on those afterburners and got right up back in there.
So we sit 85-31, 4.5 to go in the period. Everybody back on the track. Wheels of Justice sending out Zip. And the Zip has 2 to beat.
The Antichrist is stuck at the corner number 1, trying to fight through those blockers. There's a lot of offense coming to try and help get them out, but right now there's a pileup in the apex.
Meanwhile, Zip has grabbed lead and is just dipping, ducking, dodging, diving, and dodging to get through the pack.
Varying that height and speed to try and get through there. Picks up 3 points for all that effort. This jam comes to an end.
Called off just in time. 3-0. Under 4 minutes to go in the period.
Well, lo and behold, the Wild CBD penalty box is empty. That means we've got all 10 players on the track.
It's been rare. Bonnie Thunders jamming against the Antichrist, and Thunders is out again with the offensive assist. Just blasting through.
Tarantula right now doing a great job holding in the Antichrist. Middle part of that wall, and they're trying to get some offense going, but that person became part of the wall at one point.
Yeah, Tarantula just doesn't like to let people through. Star has been passed from the Antichrist to Mange Blanc and Coup. Takes a moment to stick the star on the helmet, because why not? What the heck?
That is a brutal wall out there with Tarantula and Nisbet Smith. Oh my goodness. Bonnie Thunder's up in front, getting past the pivot line, going through turn number 1. Still has 3 blockers holding on to her from Montreal.
Meanwhile, Mange is at the back, just stuck. Nisbet Smith and Tarantula teaming up.
Grayson picking up a penalty, heading to the penalty box. And Bonnie Thunders gets out, picking up 4 points.
Down to 2.5 to go in the period. Mange almost free. Yes, keeps the feet inbounds.
Yeah.
Finally completes the initial.
That was a diving swing and a miss by Beams to try and stop it. But either way, Bonnie Thunder calls this off after picking up 4 more points. We got a score 96-31. 2 minutes left in this first half.
8-0 run. Miracle Whips back out to jam for Montreal. Much back out to jam for Rose City. And 1 blocker in the box for Montreal. Saw the movement. I'm like, wait, the whistle hasn't blown. Oh, that's just shuffling.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actual action. It's just reposition. Much forced out of bounds.
Yeah.
Miracle Whips the one hand out, but keeps the body in. Spinning.
No, Ryder
dodging.
was the one knocking them out. Oh, that was a great move. Yeah, and that's up in front. Morgan Levy with a nice knockout, dragging Miracle Whips back. They just called it off. Said nope, no more. Get a fresh team out there, and we're going to end this jam in style, or end this half in style, I should say.
Minute 10 to go in the period. 96-31 after that scoreless jam.
Food, snacks, beverages, adult and otherwise.
Both teams full strength now. Zip back out to jam for Rose City. And I think that's Denata 1969.
Wow, great job by Zip. She found the opening on the outside, ran up the straightaway, and is your lead jammer.
Denata bumped, keeping things in bounds. Has yet to get the, but man, these, seeing a lot more since that rule shift with the one hand out of bounds is okay. A lot more like just planking, like holding everything up with that one arm to keep the feet from going out of bounds.
Yep, 4 more points being picked up by Zip on that first pass.
Period clock ticking down, 15 to go. Minute 20 on the jam clock. As Denata, now star in hand, forced to the infield, rolls back. And again, the combination of Big Bang Fury and Tarantula is just impossible to get around.
Out of play being called in the back. They all got to run forward, and as soon as they get their legs under it, Tarantula does a nice knockout on Denata in turn 2.
Meanwhile, on a roll, trying to break Zip free, but Montreal, great job again, recycling, capturing and rolling to the forward, and finally Zip is out. Period clock now at 0. 43 to go on the jam timer.
Oh, offense came, and she had an opening but couldn't keep her feet under it and trips out of bounds. Donata has to go back and start. Back at turn number 2.
Back to the sad place.
Yep.
And again, oh man. A hip check that lifts you off the ground and slams you face first down.
Well, I can only tell you the good news out of all of that is Donata can now take a rest and breathe for 10 minutes after that big hit.
Yes.
We are at intermission. We've got a score of 104-31. Rose City Rollers finally broke the century mark, and they are well within the lead at this time. Montreal's got to come up with some answers and get their defense together to try and stop the scoring of Bonnie.
Please, please come down now. Don't be scared, I only want to help you down. Throw down the ladder, I'll climb up the tree. Find your feet, follow me. Take your time, there's no yourself, just focus on the two of us. Fight back your worry, I'll show you the way. Lean on me, you know it's gonna be okay. If I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. First foot down on the count of 3, 'cause if I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. Gone west, time for bed. Take my hand, don't look over the edge. Give me your troubles, I won't let you fall. I won't let you fall. Step by step, we gon' make it through the door. If I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. First foot down on the count of 3, 'cause if I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me.
1. Rose City. Dominic, you all right over there?
I'm doing great.
Nothing like a table leg to slam your knee into when you try and sit down. Luckily, I didn't hit my. I'm staying at my. This is really exciting for the people watching the stream. I'm staying with my sister-in-law, and it's a different bed. And I kicked the crap out of one of my toes last night, like at 11:45 as I'm trying to get into bed, and it still hurts today. So I'm relating to your knee bump. Montreal able to get lead 6 times in the last half, and of those 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those were Miracle Whips.
Impressive.
Miracle Whip's kind of good.
Yeah.
At this roller derby thing.
Yeah. Definitely good and very, very agile.
Yes. Hasn't been quite as flowing as yesterday's game. Just there were some amazing spins that Miracle Whips is doing yesterday.
Bonnie Thunders is out of the pack very quickly, picking up the jammer.
And Daynata with the star for Montreal, trapped at the back of the pack.
Yeah, Daynata is right now trying to find the way through. Finally pulled that cap off the top of their noggin. Looking for that pivot or a hole to get free.
Bonnie Thunders spins through the opening with some assistance from a blocker's number I didn't catch. Oh, Thunders trying to go, but no.
No.
That door was firmly shut by Wybro Sirius.
Well, Rose City right now has got Daynata pinned on the outside wall at the top of the apex. Daynata is not finding a way to get through. Offenses even came, and the positional blocking for Rose City has just locked them down.
Super solid. Beans now trying to provide some offense. But Montreal, reasonable job of absorbing. Beans finally able to just, again, stand in the right place to open up enough of a pick to let Bonnie Thunders through.
Bonnie Thunders has those long legs and the ability to laterally step on those toe stops and then run.
Right.
And it's very hard for most teams to counter that.
Yeah.
We have a successful star pass, and Wybro Sirius is now your jammer for Montreal.
And Thunder says, well, bro, not going to get any points. Wybro Sirius, nice little snap, like, aw, shucks, I didn't get a point.
Yeah, Tenacity was back there, gave a little bit of body to the 2 blockers in the back, and just enough for Bonnie Thunders to find the opening and run through. Tenacity, over the last 5 or 6 years, Tenacity's game has really, really elevated from when they started, and I'm so impressed with how, like, heads up, they're always aware of what they need to do on the track at any given moment.
Very true, yes. Yeah, they are really, really stepped up, clearly.
Miracle Whips and Lauren Much, those are your jammers out there.
And Much, Much lowers the boom on Grayson and breaks free to grab lead.
Miracle Whips finally out of the pack after being conned by every single blocker I think Rose City has.
Much sneaks through, grabs some points, watching as Miracle Whips gets closer and calls off the jam.
Oh, and Miracle Whips was actually was able to pass one of the blockers, and since they have one in the penalty box, 2 quick and easy points being picked up by Montreal.
Well, it's still 122-33, so I don't think Much is too upset with giving up the 2 points. Much had 4. It'll all come out in the wash. Zip next up on the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line.
Gruesome Gracie also out there for Montreal. Gruesome Gracie trying to take outside in corner number 2, but Rose City figures it out and grabs hold. Wow.
Yeah.
Zip with a beautiful spin, almost orbited that blocker and got out on the other side to become lead.
Now Gruesome Gracie looking maybe to try some defense, but nothing doing. Is still trapped and getting more trapped is Mia Palau out of the penalty box and back to play defense. Palau now moving forward onto offense to bump some people out of the way. Zip forced out of bounds, however, has to roll way to the back, and star pass from Gruesome Gracie.
Wow, and Zip ends up kind of limboing underneath of someone's arm to get through. Does call it off, but picks up all 4 points on that drive.
That takes us to 126 to 33. If you're scoring at home, Wybro Sirius picked up the star for Montreal in that last jam. So 3 jams in, 2 star passes for the Skids, both to Wybro Sirius. And we're back to Bonnie Thunders jamming against Denata.
And Denata comes off that line very quick, manages to push their way all the way past the pivot line, taking 3 or 4 blockers from Rose City with them.
And now Bonnie Thunders up at the front. The duo of Manj. I can't catch the number. I think that's is that Bigley Smalls at the front helping out maybe?
Yeah,
it was a long fight, but did not quite last.
Well, Denata was stuck and finally got some help from the offense. Everybody jumps back up front and catches her once again.
And deposits her firmly into the infield.
Bonnie Thunders gets through on the scoring pass, is already back around. You know, normally you always say you got like about 7 seconds before that jammer comes around, but I think with Bonnie Thunders, you got 3 or 4.
Yeah. Yes, very, very quick on the finish the pushing, sprint, push some more.
Yeah, if you're going to do offense to defense back again, you're going to have to do it very quickly with her.
Speaking of, a little swap off at the back as Una rolls forward to play some offense. Now steps back to bridge, and Bonnie Thunders spins about. Bigley Smalls heading to the penalty box for Montreal. Montreal now down to just 2 blockers on the track, and Denata still on the initial pass, almost a full lap in.
Yep.
Thunders pulls through. Here's the cry from the bench, calls off the jam.
Well, Denata finally had stepped through to the other side, and Lauren Much, was standing back there. There's no reason to continue it.
Yeah.
It would either be a foot race. Good time to call it off. We got a score 138-33, 23 and a half minutes roughly on the clock for this game. This is Rose City's first game this weekend.
And Montreal's second. Montreal lost to the European All-Stars yesterday evening. Europe will play against the winner of this game tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Wow, Lauren Much targeted everybody's arms. They both had to drop, but both players had to get out of the way.
Yeah, and Much ended up out of bounds, but it's not really much of a deterrent. As Much whips through quickly, grabs lead, and also, like Bonnie Thunders, no time wasted getting back to the pack. Just like build up the speed and push through.
Nice hit out on the inside in turn 2. Going to drag Lauren Much back just a little bit. They're going to set their wall up and wisely catch her at, oh my goodness. Catch her and give her a big hit to the out.
Yes. Some great offense earlier by Bigley Smalls, who came out of the penalty box and just went straight into trying to break people free to let the Antichrist out.
And I believe a direction of play being called on Grayson.
And 4 points up for Much. The Antichrist was almost free, but Beans just there in time just to catch and slow enough for the rest of the pack to come catch up after Much ran past.
Lauren Much comes in turn 4. Oh, and here comes the offense. Goes ahead and calls it off. This jam is done. 6 points being picked up by Rose City, bringing their total to 144.
Montreal held scoreless again. Still sitting at 33, 21:52 to go in the game. Mia Palau set to draw jam.
2-town cider, damn fine cider made here in the Pacific Northwest. Grab a bright cider soon. That's 2-town cider.
That is a damn fine cider.
Yes, it is.
Well, we got another timeout. Let's mention Holler. Next time you're in Portland, roll over to Holler for your next food and drink destination.
Holla.
One of these days I hope to meet Deb Tabor.
What do they serve at Holler? I have not been.
I have not been.
Oh, all right.
I also have not. That's a new one to me.
Oh. If you know a business that would benefit by promoting at Derby events and to Rose City members, you should email sponsorship@rosecityrollers.com or check out the sponsorship page on rosecityrollers.com.
That is one thing Rose City has always done very well, is partnered with different businesses within the community, and it's been very successful. I've known people that, because they're sponsors, they go and support the business, whether it be bars, whether it be realtors or therapists, all kinds of different things. So it's always been a very beneficial thing to advertise here at Rose City.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of wall space for the sponsor signs that go out on the stream, which is good.
I have purchased Secret Aardvark more than once.
Did it kick you in the mouth?
It did, and it was simply because they advertised here with us.
All right, Mia Palau, Miracle Whips, your jammers. And Mia Palau, lead jammer.
It does look like there was a forearm call that was on Alcatraz.
Mia Palau, feet almost constantly in motion. Just as I say that, then slows down into push mode. Miracle Whips is finally clear, but doesn't have the helmet. Helmet cover's in the hand. I'm like, well, did it fall off? We had that yesterday. Where Jammer came out, the helmet cover was knocked off, didn't realize it, and was like halfway around going, what do you mean I'm not lead jammer?
Big Bang Fury did pick up a forearm also, and is having a seat in the penalty box.
Miracle Whip's not able to grab any points. Jam called off by Mia Palau, 148-33. That's right, 20 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the game. Zip jamming against Motley Crude.
Zip makes it out the other side, sprints to safety and freedom as your lead jammer. Motley Crude stuck about 15 feet past the jam line.
And Zip called for the back block. I was thinking, as I watched Zip come in, I'm like, they're going pretty fast. Well, it'll be fine. Yeah, not so much. Just a little bit too much level of impact there. So 2-minute jam, first of the half.
Oh, and look at that. Motley Crude's got the cap in hand. Still trying to get that through on the initial. Big Band Fury serve time has already come back out and joined that wall. And it looks like Motley Crude is stuck between that wedge.
Yeah, Montreal trying to catch a goat, trying to get Beans to just stay back. But Beans is like, I can push as well, right? And shoves them all together. So Montreal then flips off. Monge now up to the front, and the star pass is complete. So you can adjust your jammer to number 9999.
Zip did a fantastic move, got really, really low, and everybody dropped with her, stood up and ran around through the inside line, and that was a quick and easy 4 points.
This time just going faster on the outside. Oh, just caught. Mine cool with the last line of defense hip check as the jammer. And now rolling Zip all the way back. Monge still on the initial pass. But what the heck? Been playing defense all game. Might as well just go back to doing more of that right now.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice hit. Bodies are all hitting the floor there, but that's one way to stop the jammer.
What it is, Zip is held up at the back. Monge pushed to the outside.
Yeah.
Slowly skating back as the jam is ticking down to 4 seconds.
Yep. They're just going to run this clock out.
Exactly. It's like, I'm not going to get any points. Why am I going to go back in and push through? It's too short, even if you got through quickly, to make it all the way around the track.
8 points being picked up by Rose City in that last jam, bringing a total to 156. 33 still with Montreal. We got 18 minutes left in this game. Bonnie Thunders is taking the track. So is Miracle Whips. Two of the finest jammers in the land, going head to head.
And penalty box currently empty, which, as I said it, the whistle blew, so somebody's getting a forearm. Oh, that was on a roll. On a roll heading to the box. Bonnie Thunders lead jammer.
Miracle Whips bouncing back and forth, does a quick and a successful star pass, and Alcatraz now has the star.
Alcatraz hops over the corner, picks up the 4 points. Bonnie Thunders also clear with 4 and calls off the jam. Great work, Montreal, on the star pass and the apex hop to grab the points.
Yeah, Alcatraz was very quick to get around that track and found the perfect placement to jump. That was great.
You could hear the bench yelling, call it. Bonnie Thunder's like, but I'm not sure I've got all the points yet.
I want to give a special thanks to some of our sponsors. We got Shebop, Portland Vital Signs, and Dye Dye, my darling hair salon.
All right, back on the track. Much jamming against Gruesome Gracie.
Oh, nice hit out by Grayson on Much.
Much just never slows down,
No.
it seems. And
Must be all that Red Bull.
right. And it's through again and clears the pack. Lead jammer, Gruesome Gracie, at the front. Three blockers to beat. On a roll back to provide some offense, and Much takes advantage to grab 4.
Yeah, she always comes into that pack like a complete spaz and just shakes everything up.
Yes.
There's no way to really lock her down like that. This time she does that dip where she varies her height, drops down as low as she can go, and goes around the outside. Very hard to hit.
Yes. Star pass on Montreal now. Mange and Cool again with the jammer duties and keeps the foot in bounds.
That was impressive.
That was great pressure to the outside. Much through with 4 more, so that's 12 total. And Much calls off the jam. Mange not able to get anyone. Appealing to the referee. Come on, I must have passed somebody. No, I'm sorry.
Yep. And
Fourth whistle came before it.
More and Much came in, and she hit that wall, but was unable to get her hips past any of the blockers there either. So 2 fists in the air for that last pass, but 12 more points being put on the board for Rose City, bringing their total to 172.
New Skids still held scoreless at 37. And we'll send out 1969 Denata to jam against Mia Palau.
Mia Palau finding a nice little opening on the out, but quickly Montreal gets up in front and slows them down.
Meanwhile, back in the sad place, Denata with all 4 Rose City blockers. Just saying, you're not going to move. I don't know why you're even trying.
Mia Palau trying to get up around the corner into corner 2. Hits that straightaway, does a spin and another spin, but does get tapped out of bounds and drugged back. They are lead jammers, so they go ahead and call it off.
A 0-0 jam, first of the half. Sit 172 to 37, 14 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the game. And I want to mention Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better at sasquatchr.org.
Zip and Lee Antichrist are your jammers in this next jam. A quick penalty being called, and that's going to be a forearm.
Stand the woman.
Stand the woman.
Heading to the box. Zip heading to lead Jammerland. Out the front, and Lee Antichrist also able to work through because only 2 blockers on the track right now for Rose City. Makes it a little easier for the offense to work.
There's the call off.
Quick call off. They're going to have to get out there, and they got Bonnie Thunders, Tarantula, and Nesbitt Smith coming. Well, if you only got 2 blockers, I think that's who I'd pick.
Yep. Meanwhile, Miracle Whips back out to jam against Bonnie Thunders. All 4 blockers on the track for Montreal. And everybody rolling back. As Cheese Grater trying to hold Bonnie Thunders. Miracle Whips forced out of bounds. A forearm penalty called on Aye. And Miracle Whips is out and is lead jammer. Has a conversation with the doesn't matter, the jam ref.
Yep.
Bonnie Thunders also clears.
Bonnie Thunders is out. They got about a half a lap separating each other. 1 blocker, Tarantula, unable to even get a body on.
No. Too much momentum for Miracle Whips, like it's going to know where to go. And Tarantula sort of stuck on the feet, can only go so much laterally.
Wow. So right now we got a score of 4 points for Montreal, no points for Rose City. That's the first in a while.
Yes, other than that 0-0 jam, like even looking back to last jam, there were a couple where they held Rose scoreless, but not many.
Not many. Laura Much is going to get out there for Rose City, and I want to say that's Motley Crude. It is Motley Crude also out there for Montreal. Motley Crude does a nice job bouncing on the outside line, tries to find a purchase on the outside again in turn 2. Man, Rose City always in a rotation to positionally block and hold that jammer in.
Truly, Much forced out of bounds now, rolled back and attacking the center of the tripod and just pushed out to the outside again and once more rolled backwards.
Meanwhile, Motley Crude working at the top of the pack.
Nisbet Smith back into the game, and Much says, oh, you're all paying attention to the blockers now. I'm going to just duck around everybody and grab lead jammer. Rose has had lead in all but one jam.
She just
this
did
period.
Just
Again.
Variable varied the size. She dropped all the way down and was able to swipe by and not get even touched. Incredible.
And backwards at the same time. This time comes in and picks up the back block.
Much picking up a back block.
So we will go another 51 seconds unless we get called. They blocker slow to get up at the front of the pack.
Yeah. I bet you they landed on that tailbone.
Yeah,
That doesn't feel. I don't know that for a fact, but that is kind of what it looked like to me. That's Bigley Smalls, and I'm hoping they're okay.
Meanwhile, Motley Crude, star in hand. His tenacity is back into the game, and Montreal will roll forward. Now the jam is called off as, I think Bigley made it back to the middle of the track and said, this is not working out right now.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so hot. And that's too bad. Bigley Smalls has been playing incredible the last night and today.
Yes.
And defensively, that's a key part in their game.
Getting attention from our medic. Let's review where we are. So yesterday we had little weather problems, so we had to delay the start. Started off in the evening, and we only had 2 games. First game, game 1, Denver took on Rose City's Axles of Annihilation. Denver won that game. In our second game, Montreal's new skids on the block played the European All-Stars. Europe won that, so that brings Montreal here. We saw the Axles earlier lose to arch rival in our first game of the day at 10 a.m. Now we've got Wheels of Justice currently beating Montreal 180-41 with 10 minutes or so to go in the game. Next up will be a break.
Yes.
You get to take some time. We'll get to go eat lunch. And we'll be back at 6 p.m. with our first semifinal, Denver versus arch rival. That should be a good game. Arch rival, man, they look super tough.
But then again, so did Denver.
Exactly.
Denver looked great. They haven't lost a step in the offseason or in the downtime, if I want to call it that. So arch rival, again, to your point, they're another very, very, very strong team that I would say that's probably going to be the game of the night, in my opinion.
Could well be. The following game, our nightcap for tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time, will be Team Europe versus the winner of this game. And then tomorrow we get into our 5th, 3rd, and championship games of the 2022 Hometown Throwdown.
Now, Team Europe, that's another one. They had a lot of players that looked just incredible.
That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
All right, Much starting off in the penalty box.
Both, they will be standing in the penalty box, getting ready to go. Much, of course, picking up a back block in that last jam.
And not able to exit because of the early end of the jam. So Much now out and right back at the seam. This time hitting on a side and not on the back.
Yeah. She saw that the person presenting the side of their body and came in full speed, hit it, because that is a legal hit zone.
Exactly. Oh, you want me to hit you? All right, great.
All right. Telling you got to present that back and not your side because everybody's looking for it.
Denata trapped at the front, or now in the middle, and now in the back of the pack as Much pushes everyone else around.
Yeah. More and much, she did almost like a little Matrix move where she did a C shape backwards, popped back up, and somehow got lead jammer.
Somehow out the front. Daynata also clears much on the scoring pass, swings around the hips of the Montreal defender, calls off the jam. And we will reset with Wybro Sirius high-fiving everyone and deciding, am I going back to the bench? I don't know, maybe? Yeah, I guess so.
4 points in that last jam being picked up. We got a score of 184-41. Just under 9 minutes left. And again, that should be Gruesome Gracie going up against Mia Palau in this next jam. Wow, Mia Palau just pumping those feet, pushing players around and working all the way into corner 2, spinning.
Just a toe stop work that Palau's put in. Both times jamming has been amazing. Like, feet never stops.
You know, as much as I'm talking about Mia Palau, Montreal did everything in their power and successfully held her, knocking her out of bounds. Mia Palau, of course, getting out and becoming lead jammer right now, but that was a great job holding on to her for a good, half a minute.
Yes. And the track cut called. The crowd goes wild with dismay as they thought that was a perfectly landed jump, but no.
Yeah, it was close, and the ref has obviously got the bird's eye view on it, called that track cut. Well, we got a cap in hand for Gruesome Gracie, who found an opening on the inside, somehow staying on their skates, and they are through on their initial pass.
So points now available for both jammers. Mia Palau standing in the penalty box. Montreal trying to open something in the middle, doing so, but rolling forward is Tenacity, and Montreal, nice job. I think that was Grayson with his shoulder to knock Tenacity out of the way to collect those 4 points. Mia Palau out and through for Rose City. 27 seconds left on the jam clock.
Well, I think that was the quickest penalty I've ever seen. Mia Palau just snuck right in there. I think she caught everybody, including me, off guard.
Yeah, didn't take the, I'm going to go skate all the way around. Just like, I'm going to dip back as close to the pack as I can enter legally. We'll do so, and no one will notice.
Tenacity picking up a penalty. That's going to put 2 blockers down for Rose City.
And 4 points for Gruesome Gracie and Mia Palau. Mia Palau now on the third pass as time runs out. So a 12-8 jam win.
Yeah, but like I said, we're going to start this next jam with only 2 blockers out there for Rose City and 4 for Montreal. We had a score of 49, 8 points being scored for Montreal in that last jam. Rose City picking up 12, bringing their total to 196.
And Rose this half doing a great job of even in when the Montreal is scoring, Rose generally able to get some, if not more, either tying it or coming out ahead. Only have lost 1 jam so far in the half. Miracle Whip's lead jammer. And Zip trapped at the front. Miracle Whip's.
Man! Miracle Whip's taking flight. That was too beautiful.
I'm like, and she's going to try it again, but this time everybody comes flying in. Tarantula shoved to the infield.
Yep.
And Tarantula will get the penalty for that.
I think that's definitely hitting somebody out of bounds.
Just a touch.
I don't know.
It looked in that first jump as she went over. I was like, did she like touch the Rose blocker on the hip on the way past? And would that be a forearm? I guess if you're like actually putting pressure and using it to vault over, maybe. All right, Rose City could have called a timeout because why not?
Yeah.
What the heck? We got 5 minutes to go in the game. You're up 196-53. Why not stop the clock a little bit? This timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. If you're moving to Portland, please consult Deb Counts Tabor to find you a house. I asked Puns yesterday if you mentioned Rose City Rollers, did you get a discount? And Puns did not know. I don't know either.
And at this point, it would be nicer to have a better interest rate.
Exactly. Can I get like a 1/10 of a point off? We will also thank our penalty box sponsor, Wild CBD, sparkling waters and edible delights that enhance every moment.
I have heard good things about those.
Get your relaxation on and or energy.
Well, you find somebody with skates on and get that, they're really tall.
Well, this next jam is gonna have one blocker down for Rose City, Nisbet Smith. It is in the penalty box. You're gonna see Bonnie Thunders out there.
And I think that's Lee Antichrist jamming.
You are correct. From our vantage point, sometimes they get hidden in that behind people. But Bonnie Thunders runs up the inside line and is your lead jammer.
Lee Antichrist pushing towards the front. Monge trying to give some offensive assists, but Tenacity teaming up with Morgan Levy at the front. Just holding on. Rolling as the bridge extends. Now Tenacity tenaciously holding the last line of defense. And Montreal defense just locking down Bonnie Thunders. As there's no offense coming from Roses, you just have to keep extending the pack. Lee Antichrist finally clear. Bonnie Thunders calls off the jam.
3 points only being picked up. Excellent wall work and defense being set down by Montreal to scrub that scoring drive by Rose City.
So we stay or we get to 199, not quite the 200-point mark yet.
Just about 4 minutes left.
We will reset De Nada and Much. Much. Oh, man.
Wow.
Just the sprint up the outside.
Well, there's a lot of blockers all spread out there,
Yeah.
and Lauren Much it's like a jammer drill for her at that point.
Right. This time pushing into the pack, finds a skater facing. I'm going to use that as my block, shove them into everybody else, and then get around the edge. When in doubt, use your opponents as a weapon.
We do have a star pass, and nice work by Wybro Sirius. They got out, have the star. 4 points being picked up by Lauren Much on their pass. They're going to wait till the last second per usual and call this jam off after 8 points being put up by Much.
0 for Wybro Sirius. Now to 2:07 to 53. 3 minutes to go in our game. Nia Palau back out to jam for Rose City. Miracle Whips jamming again for Montreal. No one in the Wild CBD penalty box. Nia Palau dances. Oh, nicely done. Shouldered out of bounds.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I'm really impressed with both these teams is their drop back. They drop back and suck any of the momentum or mobility. There was a big swing and a miss, but Miracle Whips is out first as your lead jammer.
And star pass off from Mia Palau to Stan the Woman. Stan is clear. Miracle Whips gets the points, calls off the jam.
Yeah, great play by Miracle Whips once again to get out there and get it all done.
And we tick down to the 2-minute warning. And we will have a timeout or official review called.
Well, you know, speaking of I mentioned a little while ago, Secret Aardvark, the local made flavor that kicks you in the mouth, and it is. It's a great, great product, very, very tasty, and that's Secret Aardvark.
You could get some and put it on your killer burger. You tell. I'm like, it's 2 o'clock. I'm ready for lunch.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
They have to go to Killer Burger. It's only 5 minutes away from the hangar at Oaks Park.
Green is asking for an official review on the star pass on the purple jammer.
All right. Star pass did happen right in front of us, which is at the opposite side of the field from where the Montreal bench is. It looked clean to me.
It did look good.
But then I was sitting back, so I couldn't see the line. So I don't know if somebody's foot was on the line or out of bounds, but we shall see a quick review. So I'm going to guess the answer is it was fine.
Yeah. Normally when they talk that quick, unless someone's like, oh yeah, I missed it.
Right.
Yeah. And that happened last night.
It did.
And I thought that was actually really cool the way that was addressed.
It was well called out. Good to admit if you make a mistake.
Yep.
They will happen.
We will.
We don't have video instant replay in Derby.
We do not.
Upon review, the jammer was fully in bounds because they had picked up the foot that had been touching out of bounds. So when the star was released, they were fully in bounds, and it was a legal star pass.
There we go.
And you heard it here first.
Ref's eyes were on it. And we have exactly 2 minutes. So we unexpectedly had a 2-minute warning break.
Zip in, Gruesome Gracie are your jammers out on the track. Zip getting pinned in corner number 1. I believe that's Beans trying to play some offense to try and get him out.
But Montreal continuing to absorb the blows from Beans. Beans finally, almost done. Good work rolling out by Cheese Grater, but Zip finally out the front. Once again, as this happened last night, where the jam clock and the period clock, perfect synchrony between the two.
Montreal got the star pass passed off there, but they were very quick to take care of grabbing that pivot and holding them together. That's something I'm also seeing is every time there's a star pass, one blocker goes up and instantly starts positionally blocking even before they get the star.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta hold them down. 4 more points up for Zip. We're at 1 minute to go on both the game and the jammer clock.
Yeah, they're pretty much synced, and I believe unless something changes, this might be the last jam.
Some would argue it should be. Strategically, your best move, I would say, at this point, is just to let the clock run out. Could almost go full victory formation and stop engaging, but that's no fun for anybody. So Zip is going to continue pushing forward.
I'd just kind of hang out right back there. I wouldn't even probably do anything.
Wait. No need for a penalty. The outcome is concluded. We know who's winning the game.
Yeah.
Let's just let the 18 seconds run off the clock.
Oh,
and we're going to go backwards while we do it. Why not?
That's right. Non-derby direction.
Wybro Sirius cutting across the middle to get in finally and is out and clear. Wybro Sirius completes that initial lap. Zip, bump to the out, is going to let the clock run. Did get all 4, and that will end our game. 12 points on the last jam.
Well, this was a great game. Rossi, they've been on the hiatus like the rest of us have, and they came out and they showed us that they have not missed a step in the downtime.
No. Rose, I've seen Rose Wheels play a couple of times on some remote tournaments, and they just looked like not a step missed. I mean, I think one big advantage Rose has is they have this facility, right? So they weren't looking for. They control the entrance to it. Roll up the big doors, get the wind flowing through, and you can practice when everybody's locked down, just wear your masks and so forth. So Rose City wins, 2:19:57. They will play our 8 o'clock game against Team Europe. And the Montreal New Skids on the Block will get to take a break until tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. when they will take on Rose City's Axles of Annihilation.
Yeah. Well, we got some exciting derby, so everybody tune back in a few hours, and we cannot wait to see you. Scott Chicken, you got anything else to say for this broadcast?
I do not, King. It's been a pleasure. Come back at 6 p.m. Pacific for Denver versus arch rival.
Everybody have a great afternoon.
Good. Oh, I should have said, go grab a PBR. Throw it in that final sponsor. All right, that's done for this one. Thanks, sir. That was fun.
That was great.
Good time. Yeah, that's your wheels game tonight. That'll be interesting. I still think the wheels are going to roll through that one.